let's meet today's bet. Well, first off, we welcome Richard and Ian. Welcome to the show. Now, where have you two come from?
We've come from Warsaw in the West Midlands.
Warsaw in the West Midlands. And what do you do, Richard?
Well, I work in a restaurant. I do TV extra work along with Ian.
In the restaurant?
No, clearly not. And I also dance for a drag queen called Glamour, the Spanish Experience.
Glamour. What is so quintessentially Spanish about Glamour's experience?
He's from Gran Canaria.
Right.
He is. And he's got two sexy male dancers, and I'm one of them.
Of all the things you do, which do you prefer? The glamour, the waiting, or the TV extra work?
Do you know what? It's a good mix, and I like doing all three, to be honest.
Have we ever had the pleasure of working together?
No.
Not unless they're with you, I don't think. No.
Not unless. I mean, we've done Casualty. I was in the bus crash and the Toy Factory fire. And
the Toy Factory fire?
We was both in a gun massacre in a nightclub once.
Yeah.
And then we
run over by a dumper truck.
in a quarry.
It's great to have you here. Very best of luck to the pair of you.
Thank you.
Now then, Richard. This is a festival round, isn't it? What about this? Rock! Types of rock, Richard!
Types of rock. I was thinking I was going to do all right, because I used to have this thing when I was a kid called Treasures of the Earth, and it was about rocks and geology and things, but when you put them up there, geez. I'm going to go for one that I can kind of relate to pumice stone, so I'll probably say pumice is the answer I'm going to give.
You're going to give pumice as your answer. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said pumice. It's right. Still going down. 11. Look at that. Very good. Great score. 11 for pumice.
Yeah, well done, Richard. Pumice stone's formed from volcanic lava, so it's full of gas bubbles, which is why it floats. Well, it's a rock that floats. This round's fun already, isn't it?
It is just
a rock that floats? Come on. What more do you want?
Now then, Ian. We've had 2 incorrect answers. I can't believe there are any more incorrect answers on that board, but there is most definitely at least one pointless answer. Yeah. And you're through, so why not? Why not find that pointless answer?
I think dolomite, isn't that a mountain range somewhere? And they're made of rocks, aren't they? You know, there's basalt, limestone, sandstone. I think they're all rocks, but I don't know which one would be the pointless one. I'll go for dolomite then, I think.
Go for dolomite. Let's see if it's right. If it is, let's see how many people said dolomite. It's right. Very well done, Ian. I have a feeling this might go a long way down. Yes! Thank you. There you go. You've triumphed with dolomite there. A pointless answer which adds £250 to our jackpot, taking the total up to 5,250. It scores you nothing, means your total at 11. Now, Richard, song titles with question marks at the end of them. How's that looking to you? How many of those do you know?
1, 2 that I definitely know. I think I'm going to go for Who's David? And I believe it was Busted that sung Who's David.
Who's David? Busted.
By Busted, yeah.
Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Busted. Very well done, Richard. That's great. Very well done indeed. 4 for Busted. Richard.
Yeah, very well done, Richard. #1 single in 2004 by the much-missed Busted.
Maybe they'll come back. Maybe they'll reform, keep touring stadiums.
Oh, that would be awesome. I would love that.
Okay, we have an answer.
Okay, we know 2 that we can think of, but we're going to go with what we thought was the oldest, which is Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay, you're saying Atlanta. Steve and Kathy, what do you want to say?
I think Belgium has hosted it once. It wasn't in Brussels, but it was in Antwerp. So I think we're going to go for that. Yeah.
Antwerp? You're going to say Antwerp. Now, is that a guess, or is that...
No, I think we know where.
You think that's right?
Yeah,
okay, very good. So we have Antwerp. Atlanta from Richard and Ian. Antwerp from Steve and Kathy. in the order they were given. Let's see, Atlanta, is that right? And if it is, how many people said it? $33 for Atlanta. Steve and Kathy, you are going for Antwerp. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. 33 is what you've got to beat. Very good. Down it goes. Yep, you've done it. Wow, 6. There's a great score. 6 beats 33. So after the first question, Steve and Kathy. And next we welcome back Richard and Ian. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the pointless final. This is your last chance. Remind us what happened last time.
Well, we got to the final head-to-head round.
The final head-to-head round?
Well, we like to call it the final head-to-head because it makes us a little bit close to that pointless prize, doesn't it, at the end?
But today, when you're going to storm through to the final, what's going to help you on your way? What would you like to see come up?
Anything to do with television or movies, perhaps,
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe pop music again, because we seem to do quite well at that, although I suspect it won't come up today.
It may not. It may not. Now, Ian, remind us, what do you like to do?
Well, I've lately started to turn my hand to a bit of gardening.
Really?
Yeah.
It's weirdly addictive, isn't it?
Yeah, you get started and
Yeah, something
see
actually...
where you can go.
Absolutely. And how about you, Richard?
Well, as I explained on the previous show, I dance for a drag queen, so I kind of like dancing and doing anything creative and performancey, really.
Well,
I can
it's great
teach
to
you a
have
few moves if you want.
You could if you like. Yeah, we've got time, haven't we? Actually,
yeah,
what
absolutely.
am I talking about? No, never in a million years. Yeah, nice try. Very best of luck to the pair of you. It's great to have you back. Okay, then Richard, what is the most obscure Demi Moore
Well,
film
actually,
you've
only know one Demi Moore film. It is completely obscure because it is a Disney film. It would have been released at the cinema, and I believe Demi Moore did the voice of Esmeralda in Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hunchback of Notre Dame, or Hunchback of Notre Dame, as
Yes.
they like to call it. Okay, well, you're hoping to score as few points as you possibly can with Hunchback of Notre Dame. Let's see if that's right. That could be a brilliant answer, Richard. Let's see if that's right. If it is, let's see how many people said it. Very well done indeed. That's a fabulous answer. Well done, Richard. That's pointless. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £1,250, and it scores you nothing. Very, very well done indeed. Richard.
Yeah, well played, Richard. Brilliant start to the show. From 1996, you're exactly right, voiced Esmeralda. That's a good answer, isn't it?
That's a great answer. Very well done. Now then, Ian. How well did Richard do? That's amazing.
You did very well.
A pointless answer there.
I'm quite pleased.
Well, the good news is you're through to the next round, whatever happens. Even if you score 100, you'll never overtake Joe and Hazel on 128. But, bearing that in mind, maybe you can find a really obscure Demi Moore film.
Well, there's only one that I can think of, but I haven't seen it myself, so she might not actually even be in it. I'm going to give it a whirl. Striptease.
Striptease. Yeah, that rings a bell. I think she might be in that. She might be. I don't know. Anyway, there's no red line for you. You're through, as I say, come what may. Let's see, though, if striptease is right. And it is. Let's see how many people said striptease. Yes, she is in that. 27. Very well done. 27 for striptease takes your total up to 27. Richard.
Yeah, it's weird. Both of you heard of it, neither of you seen it. Is that right? You haven't taken a
I haven't
look
seen
at
it, no.
No, of course you haven't.
No.
Yeah, from 1996, you also won a Golden Raspberry for that as well, worst actor.
Blimey, she must have had a whole punnet of those, mustn't
Yeah,
she?
yeah.
Richard, we come to you. So remember, we are looking for the European cities in which these landmarks are to be found.
Okay, well, there's only one of that up there. I knew that one, but again, I think it's quite one of the ones I think a lot of people will know. Hopefully it'll score lower than 91, but I'm going to go with the Parthenon being in Athens.
The Parthenon Athens, you are saying. Well, let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. The Parthenon, Athens. 56. 56 for the Parthenon being in Athens, Richard.
Yeah, a better score. Work started on the Parthenon in 447 BC.
Okay, now then, Ian. So remember, we are looking for the European cities in which these landmarks are to be found. You are through to the head-to-head, whatever happens. Tell us what you're going to pick on that board.
Well, there's only one that I know definite where it is, but I've never been to it. I've never been to any of them. So I should probably still play safe and go for Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Eiffel Tower, Paris, you're saying? Okay, let's see if that's right. If it is, let's see how many people said that. Eiffel Tower, Paris. Oh. That scored you 95 points, taking your total up to 151. Okay, now Richard and Ian, because you played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. We are looking for members of the Bronte family. Okay.
Okay, we can only think of two, but we'll go with our least one that's likely to be known, which is Charlotte Bronte.
Charlotte Bronte.
Yes.
Okay, Charlotte Bronte.